Hello YouTube. This here is another video on another game franchise, another game series that must go on. And yes, it's Resident Evil series. This just must go on, and it must be done right now. They took the whole series and scenarios, they took it in the wrong direction though. I mean, it's no longer a survival horror now. It feels like action-oriented, action-based now. You're just having fun now. It's just, it doesn't feel like Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, which are the best Resident Evil games. Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2 brought horror to the table. I mean, 100% survival horror to the table. I mean, you were scared out of your mind. It was just perfect survival. Now these new games now it's all action, or you already start with the weapons. You don't find the weapons. It's about characters now. It's no longer zombies and monsters. It feels like you're just seeing more characters. The next Resident Evil series, it must have a survival horror element in it now. I mean, it must have role-playing elements now too, like where you create your own hero. I mean, you customize your own character. That will make the game extremely more realistic survival horror, because that character represents you. That's a true survival horror. Now, get this, you have online co-op now. You can invite people into your horror world. Now you all running around together with a character he created. That character represents him. So now you know him because that character he created. That's what he looks like. That's where we should go with these next generation consoles, because these next generation consoles are extremely too powerful for these last generation games to be cut and paste, copied over. Every single next generation game today, from making this video, should have character creation, a level cap of like 1,000, a huge lobby system where you can invite a party of 8 people in your party and you go do a mission run. Every game should be like that now. I strongly feel that way, because these systems are 8 cores with 8 gigs of RAM. They're PC, but not only that, it's an AMD-based motherboard. Perfection. 100% perfection. And this has to come out right. It has to go back to the survival horror days. I mean, with survival horror, where you start off with nothing. You just got your 2 feet. You're just running. Now you find weapon. You find a handgun that's like the best handgun of your life, because you're going to shoot at whatever scares the hell out of you. And that's what survival horror is. Running. Finding unique weapons. Creating that character. That character represents you. Inviting other players to your party, or get invited to their party and go do a mission. A survival mission. A huge lobby system. These consoles are capable now of doing that. Please, Capcom, this video is directly for you. If you other gamers out there agree with me, subscribe and give me a comment on what you think. Because what do you think about these Resident Evil series? Where do you think it's going now? Because I want to see it go back in the right direction. I want to see it as a survival. I don't want to see this franchise just die down now. Because the last Resident Evil installment, people wasn't saying too many positive things. And I am a true Resident Evil fan. We just need to get back to the survival horror days. Get back with it. I mean, this game, it has to continue. This series has to continue. It has to go back to horror, and it should continue with you creating your own hero. Not having a set. You creating your own hero, and you can also summon other NPCs like Chris Redfield or Leon Kennedy here. Not just summon them, because I'm thinking of Demon Souls and Dark Souls, not summon them, but like invite them. They're NPCs in the lobby and you just invite them to do a mission. That would be extremely unique. I would love to see that. Now it's becoming a Resident Evil game because you're in a Resident Evil world now because you see Resident Evil characters as NPCs. You are a nobody. You're a nobody, and you're building that nobody up. That's a realistic survival horror. Now it's becoming a real game. Now it's a real survival horror. Now you're in Resident Evil. You're not just playing it. You're in it now. You see the characters that were in Resident Evil. You invite those NPCs with your other players that you invited. Now you're using weapons they were using. That's where we should go with this Resident Evil series. If we see that in Resident Evil, now it feels like Resident Evil. Now it feels like survival horror. Capcom, I hear recently you have a money issue. Your bank account not too high. You know what to do with this Resident Evil series. It has to go back to survival horror. If this is one of the greatest games now, if it goes back to survival horror, not action oriented, but survival horror, you might as well just put your bank account in the back of the case. Because gamers are just going to love this game. They're going to start donating money any way possible to your company, to the Capcom Foundation, the Capcom Fund. Because it was that serious. When Resident Evil 1 and 2 came out, people were just advertising your games for you. I told every single last friend of mine about Resident Evil, you have to buy this game. This game is 100% horror. That's where we need to go with your games now. This franchise cannot die. It must go on. It must go back in the right direction. Please put it back in the right direction. And please add those little features in it where you're creating your own character, customizing our character, and not only that, inviting other players to do a survival mission with you. That is where we should go now with these next generation consoles. These consoles are entirely too powerful. Not just the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One also. You know what? The Wii U it's not an 8-core system, but it is extremely powerful. It could handle a game like your Resident Evil. It could handle a survival horror co-op online game with a huge lobby system. Those three consoles, there are powerhouse systems. We would love to see a survival horror Resident Evil go back to survival horror on those next generation consoles. It's just gamers just can't wait to see that. And you summoning other Resident Evil characters, not characters, but icons and actors like Chris Redfield, Leon Kennedy. Summon them as NPCs. That's where we need to go. That's what we have to see now. Where we are in a Resident Evil scenario. Thank you, Capcom, for watching it. Thank you, other gamers out there, for watching. And please subscribe and watch my other videos on games that just need improvements, that need to come out for these next generation consoles, that need to come out right for these next generation consoles, because these consoles, I feel they're no longer toys. These systems are just too many cores in them. We're looking at gigs of RAM, not megabytes. Gigs of RAM. Thank you for watching. Thank you.